What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action. Spawning on the left side of the map in the red color playing as Odin. His name is the Rapl. His opponent today in the blue color playing as Isis. His name is Joe, and we've got a cracker for you today, ladies and gentlemen. The age-old question: is Age of Mythology balanced or not? I think the actual commentary on the balanced state for Vubli at the moment, if you really have it out with the players, honestly, is that there's a bit of a triangle going on in that, I don't know if that mining camp is well placed or not. Anyways, in that Greek beats Norse. Wait, hold on. Let me start again. Greek beats Egyptian. Egyptian beats Norse. Norse beats Greek. And Atlantean wins and loses against everyone, depending on the civilization. There's no real civilization thing there that says what's actually working out. So it's a really, really bizarre state of balance at the moment. Now, I argue that in actuality, the game is much more like it's easy to win with Greek against Egyptian. But Egyptian can beat Greek. It just takes more skill. Now, at the very top level, you're going to find that it's very, very equal because skill level is only so high. Beyond that, if you move over into the Norse versus Greek matchup, I think that, again, while Norse has it easier than Greek, I think Greek can definitely beat Norse. And then finally, Egyptian versus Greek. I think the same thing is true. I think it's very easy for Egyptian to get the win. But if the Norse player plays with enough skill and enough game knowledge, they can definitely find victories as well. So we'll see how things are actually going to eventuate here in this matchup. The map is Marsh, which is definitely a Norse map. All the extra food on the map can be really, really helpful. However, for Isis, things do change a little bit here. If you're Isis and you get on Marsh, oftentimes you can find yourself having town centers with hunt on it, with gold on it, and you can actually find yourself having a really, really nice game here. The only problem is that we're watching Joe play. Now, while Joe is an amazing Egyptian player, I would tell everyone to ignore Joe's early game. He is still playing with 2012 Egyptian build orders, which they've been updated quite vigorously since then, and everything Joe does is somewhat suboptimal, yet he still wins. And that's not a testament to Egyptian being overpowered or anything like that. It's just a testament to Joe being incredibly good at the game, from a strategic standpoint. Just think what he could come up with if he updated his build orders just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. Anyways, we'll see how things are going to go here in this game. Rapl playing Odin here. He has to be fairly careful in this matchup because Joe has got several different strategies that are very, very potent here against the Odin. So strategy number one is that Rapl has to be aware of is going to be the Anubites, right? Isis can go through Anubis, can throw down 2 monuments, which we are already seeing. And actually, if you do the build order correctly, you can actually get a 430 advance time with an immediate second Anubite, 2 monuments out, and be attacking your opponent with those Anubites by 5 minutes at the very latest, which is really, really strong. Now, we're not seeing that from Joe here. He's going for something slightly different. But that's one of the options here. So that's Anubis. Now, if Rapl realizes that's coming, he can definitely do something about it. Beyond that, you also have the one town center, fast, heroic, as we see 5 villagers trying to build a temple here from Joe. The fast heroic. So Ancestors Eclipse timing push is very, very strong as well in this matchup off of one town center. So that one there, we'll see how it's going to go as we do actually see Anubis coming through. For Joe, one town center Ancestors Eclipse is always going to be strong, and you have to be terrified of it if it's coming your way. So we're not seeing that here from Joe. Joe's going for the Anubis technique. Rapl, on the other hand, is already advanced through already advanced through Freya, and he's picked up some relics here. We just see the Dwarven Calipers. That's the reduction in siege cost. We've also got the Trios Bow here, extra range on your archers. We've also got the Staff of Dionysus down here, a plus 20 villager carry capacity for food. Joe did garrison the Harmonious Necklace here, which is a really, really strong relic for the Egyptians, especially for Isis. Having an extra 10% villager gold gather rate is actually huge. So we'll see how that's all going to go, as Joe's going to move over here and eat his safe hippopotamus underneath his base. Rapl's going to start grabbing his relics, and the question is really, what is Rapl going to do? He can't really commit to throwing all of the gold down straight away. So he has to decide when he sees Anubis if he's going to go mass walls or whatnot, and see how he's going to react to this. It is a very late advance time from Joe, 5 minutes, 25 seconds. I think he must have missed a villager or something there along the way, as well as we do indeed see the town center getting thrown up here. Now, if you're Joe here and you see this, just build a whole bunch of priests and just go here, because you know that your opponent's got not a whole lot of stuff on this position to defend against that, and you could arguably stop that production from going up. So we see the armory coming up, the town center getting grabbed by Joe nice and early. The Anubites already out. I say already out, they're very slow here. This is 2 Anubites out at 6 minutes. That's a whole minute behind what is technically possible here. Beyond that, you can actually get, and this is quite crazy, what Joe's done here is gone 2 town center. You actually can get 2 Anubites, a second town center up immediately when you advance 430 with the modern Egyptian build orders, especially on a map like Marsh, where you got perfect hunt like Joe had here. Anyways, onwards, upwards, we're going to see Joe looking for some villagers. He's actually going to find them over here, as Joe's already got his obelisk up in this corner, spotting these villagers. Now, the question is going to be, will Rapl be ready to defend this or not? He gets his town center up. The Valkyrie is over here, and he is not paying attention on this. This is probably going to be a dead villager here, as the Anubites jump in, going to start going to town on these villagers. Rapl has to retreat away. We'll see if any of these villagers will indeed get picked off, as Joe going to be microing this one nicely, going to pick off one villager here. Beautiful play there to start the game off here, as the Valkyries now finally coming in, going to start shanking away as a Hersa comes in to start bashing this down. The village is going to return back over onto the hippopotamus here, as these Anubites will get chased down a little bit here. So the Valkyrie, it does have itself 5.5 speed compared to 5.3 speed. So technically the Valkyrie can actually put a stop to these Anubites. Nice marker there from Rapl, but that's a low HP villager that Joe's got his eyes set on, and he misclicks there just a little bit. That villager still alive. There is going to be the jump ability here, as this villager now will go down. Nice play yet again by Joe, as he is continuing to circle around this position. Rapl going to sit here on these villagers now with his Hersa. If those Anubites want to jump in there, they will receive at least a blow there by the Hersa, and that Valkyrie should simply just chase these Anubites around until he decides to retreat with them, as now Joe looks to me like he's just going to be advancing to the heroic age and seeing what he can do. Now, there are several different choices now that Joe can make going to the heroic age. You can choose to go for Hathor here and go for a big locust to try and really, really hurt the Norse economy. If you can get a big locust, it's a really, really big idea. Or you can go for Nephthys and see how things are going to go there. Beyond that, he's also got the option of jumping straight to the mythic age after that, going through either Osiris or going for or he's choosing Hathor here. So going for either Osiris or going for Thoth. Both are actually really, really good. The idea with Thoth here is that you can actually make yourself Phoenix, and Phoenix can be really, really tough to deal with for the Norse player if they don't have a safe gold mine. And if they have thought about it and they try to put buildings up, then you can just meteor that location. So if they've got watchtowers or hill forts or things like that, you can throw down the meteor on those buildings and get a really, really big gold star. As we do see the prosperity getting cast over here. Joe's got himself only pickaxe, but he does have that relic, so it's going to be a speedy time for him to be gathering there as he's getting his 3rd town center up. Rapl's already on 3 town centers, as Joe is seemingly just that little bit behind, as Rapl is even though Rapl's taken a little bit of damage here, it feels to me that Rapple's actually doing really, really well at this point. So we'll see how things are going to continue now. The armory is up. Rapple's not overdoing it here in the classical age. He's just going 3 town centers, heroic age. Going to be a 10-minute heroic work age off of 3 town centers. Very, very nice. Joe does go for the immediate locust, but that's not good there for Joe. You need to kill villagers with that locust if you're choosing Hathor. Otherwise, it would have been better to just cast Ancestors here to sit on this location and just keep the villagers idle. As the Anubites do move over here, they will start hitting some villagers. You can't jump onto moving villagers. As you can see, you can jump onto like a moving ox cart maybe, but he can't jump over that wall as the wall's just about finishing up. The Anubites are guardian Anubites now, searching around for something to kill, as we're going to see the Migdol Stronghold getting dropped over here. Joe's got a ways to go to find an advantage now, and he is down 2 god powers, or well, I guess prosperity isn't really down. He's got value out of prosperity, but he is down his locust, and he didn't get any value from that. And there is a frost coming, and frost effectively means that the Mythic Age, you can't really go through Osiris against frost and expect your Son of Osiris to get value. Because the frost, if you are playing this at peak performance, the frost should be able to shut down a Son of Osiris if you're doing it correctly. You basically wait for the Son of Osiris to come, you frost, and then you surround, and then you kill it off. As we see the obelisk over there getting taken down, the hill fort getting dropped on over here as the rock is flying around looking for something to pick off, as we are seeing the Pitsukos now pushing in. This is actually an interesting play by Joe, going for double monument, getting Necropolis, which is the bonus favor technology for your monuments. And then he's going mass Pitsukos, which does make it very, very tough for the Norse player to actually fight against this army, because you can't really push in onto it, as we do see the... oh, that's weird. How did he dodge that? Did that... Huh? Huh? I've never seen that before. The Frost Giant there goes for the freeze, actually uses the ability, but the Nubite jumps and dodges it? I've never seen that before. Apparently that's a mechanic. And Joe demonstrates it there perfectly, as the market now coming down for Rapl. Rapl is going immediately to the Mythic Age here. He's losing villagers over here. He will be losing this town center unless he casts Frost, and you definitely do not want to cast Frost on the Egyptian player unless they've got a Son of Osiris. And we see Balder as the god of choice here. This is going to be a tough one here for Joe, because Joe's got all of these myth units now, and there's really no use for them against the Rag heroes. So this is a really smart play by Rapl. He is just sitting back. He's going Balder. He's not going to bother even freezing this siege tower. We've got the I love that serpent siege tower push there with the serpents surrounding the siege tower. That's going to be able to prevent anything from happening there, as Rapl basically now going to have to go up to just 130 population. It looks like he's lost a house somewhere and needs to build a house, and he needs to get up to that population cap here in order to class that Ragnarok. So this is going to be a very, very tough defense here for Joe. He throws up his market. The question is, does Joe want to simply just go to the Mythic Age here, or spam towers, because he's got tons of gold in the bank, and we see him spending that gold somewhere now as he's getting himself fortified town centers, as well as all these the 4th town center going up, as the rock is going to be picking up these Pitsukos, going to be looking for some villager kills. 5 Pitsukos in a rock is very, very scary. But Rapl is going to be able to click Ragnarok when those Pitsukos get some, because the rock does move very slow, as these houses still coming up on this position over here. Rapl slowly getting these units out. Is he getting himself some armor upgrades? Yes, he is getting himself bronze weapons already and copper shields. Doesn't have any armor upgrades for the male, which is very, very important against the potential axemen that are going to come in. Rapl hits the Mythic Age through Balder here, as the rock moving in onto this position, going to start sniping villagers. 2 Pitsukos, 1 hit a villager. If you micro this perfectly, you're going to get so much damage done here, as the Pitsukos all drop, and he does hit. Oh, he hits a lot of different villagers. Doesn't get a single kill there. You have to micro it very well. There's a dead villager as the Hersert coming in onto this position, as the unit's now pushing forward. We do have the Fire Giant out here to pick off these axemen nicely, as Rappel's economy is starting to kick into gear. He's starting to get everything out he needs. He's got 245 population now after clicking Ragnarok. It's going to be a huge push now for Rapl. We'll see if Joe can hold here or not. Let's check out the upgrades on the town center. He does not have masons yet. He does have himself fortified town centers, but no masons is going to be hurting him a little bit here as the forest fire comes in. Double fire giants in onto this position as Joe pulls back ever so slightly. He's going to have to sacrifice this location, but you do want to get a little bit of value here. The hard part is going to be dealing with those fire giants, but with the rock, actually, if he brings this back, he can use those Patsukos to actually snipe down the fire giant. If he comes in onto this position, beams the fire giant down, they do a lot of damage there as the town center is going to be falling over here. Joe, on the other hand, is trying to spam out those axemen. He's got a lot of axemen in the bank here, or at least a lot of population in the bank here as his town center does fall, dropping down to 169 population, but he still has the 191 effective population available to him. But those fire giants is going to be absolutely carving through those. Joe's forgotten about these Patsukos. There is a lot of population. That's 20 population plus the rock, which is 3 population there. This is looking very, very spicy here for Joe as Rapl is continuing to push through. Does Rapl have any trade route going at all? It looks like the answer to that question is no. So this is relatively all in for Rapl, as Rapl going to send a little raid over here onto this location. There are villagers now over here as well that the Heroes of Ragnarok are going to be hitting. So that's going to potentially be a gold starve coming through as Joe has to sit in his base somewhat here. As the villagers going to attempt to retreat back. These Heroes of Ragnarok not paying attention over here as the villagers pulling into the base now. Rapl does not have the resources at the moment to get any town centers back, so he's stuck on 2 town centers now. He can't get a 3rd town center here. Did not plan for that one very well. Would have liked to see him at least grab one of those as he's going to continue to push through. Now there is going to be an access to this frost here, which he can use on this position ever so slightly here as the monuments are both at the back at this point. We are seeing the Pharaoh able to take down this fire giant over here. No micro from Rapl to pull that one back just there to try and take those down as we see the Patsukos coming. Look at the damage now coming in onto this position as the frost gets dropped very, very strangely there as the Patsukos getting some good damage done on the back. Joe now sitting at 141 of 136 population, 600 gold in the bank, but Joe's got nothing remaining here. The Patsukos able to snipe one fire giant down here as the Heroes of Ragnarok coming in onto this position. Joe needs to be microing these Patsukos a little bit better as the Heroes of Ragnarok do snipe one Patsukos there. The priest trying to slowly take down this fire giant, but does very, very little damage as the Patsukos coming over onto this position, going to drop over here to try and take down the fire giant. The fire giant now going after that rock, and the rock almost falls here. Joe's still got some resources in the bank, but his production has been shot here as the Patsukos are all getting taken down. The Migdol about to fall here, but it looks to me like this Ragnarok is ever so slightly dwindling here at 127 of 130 population. The village is retreating into the town center. Joe is not quite out of this game just yet, but he doesn't have any... He doesn't have any production. He needs to put production up. He's got tons of wood in the bank, so he can sell wood for gold here if he needs to. But he needs units out to hold here for the time being as Rapl is now taking down these towers, continuing through onto this position. We see the town center now going to start getting taken down. There's still 2 Patsukos here that can try and snipe down this frost giant here, but it looks like this town center might be falling here. Joe could think about getting himself... no, he does. He's already got masons. Just getting himself out some chariot archers and something else over here as the villagers can move over onto this gold mine and grab that. There's not a whole lot of gold that Joe can grab here. He's lost a lot of villagers at this point. If we take a quick look at the post game right now and check out the civilian unit count, we can see that Joe's actually still got 66 villagers. So in a really good position, but losing the main town center, villagers moving over onto this location, trying to get out these chariot archers as fast as he possibly can. But there is going to be a slight fire giant follow-up here for Rapl as he's trying to build out all of his units. He's not starting trade route here. He's got one fire giant over here, which is going to be a very, very tough thing to deal with for Joe at this point, as the temple is going to be getting taken down. And Rapl starting to get those villagers back. He's only at 10 villagers thus far. Joe, he's got plenty of villagers in the bank. He's got everything on wood and gold at this point, sitting at full population right now. 112 or 113 pop. Going to be trying to snipe down these Heroes of Ragnarok as Rapl has to pull back. And now we move into the next phase of this game, but 2 fire giants coming in. This one's going to be tough here. Joe should probably think about walling this off or something like that. Those villagers could all get sniped very, very fast here as the chariots chasing this away. We'll see what Rapl's going to be able to do with this attack here. as the Fire Giants slowly moving forward. And we see Rapl pulling all the way back home with those units here. He still hasn't been able to get himself a third town center as the villagers do get pulled off, get a little bit of damage taken here. The Pharaoh is nowhere to be seen on this location. Where did the Pharaoh go? Looks like trying to get this home town center back for the time being, as the villagers need to leave this location, taking down the market over here. The Fire Giant going to be leaving. There is this gold mine still over on this location here, or even the gold mines in the middle of the map, which Rapl can go and grab here as the town center gets grabbed. The villagers, the army starts getting created again here, as Joe is looking like he is very, very much alive now in this game. Rapl, on the other hand, trying to build dwarves out here, trying to hold on. He's got a whole lot of Fire Giants out, but Joe's going to move forward and grab this town center soon. I'm sure he's still only in the heroic age, I should say. Still only in the heroic age, but these Fire Giant are deadly. So I think the best option here for Joe, actually, instead of creating these extra town centers, would actually be to attempt to get to the Mythic Age and start making those mummies to deal with those Fire Giant here. As these Chariot Archers searching around the map, he's going to have to be very careful here fighting against those Fire Giants. He can try and snipe these units off as this town center is trying to go up for Joe. Joe bringing in his Pharaoh now, going to start getting some damage done onto the Fire Giant. Does a lot of damage to the Fire Giant. Doesn't look it. Well, he's in Hathor, so he doesn't have funeral rights, so he's going to have a minimum amount of damage here. But the Chariot Archers here getting some good damage done over here onto the remaining forces of these Heroes of Ragnarok. Nice play here, but the Fire Giants are coming in. You're going to have to retreat now away from this one, otherwise you will lose all of those to the splash damage. Nice play from Rapl here, still trying to utilize the Fire Giants to the best of his ability over there, but the villagers have now moved over onto this gold mine, happily gathering gold over there. Joe's got plenty of resources in the bank. Rapl is slowly getting back into this game, still hasn't started a trade route just yet. Sitting on the two town centers here, trying to just hold on while his economy gets back into gear here. Rapl does have a slight armory advantage going forward, so everything is very tense right now as Joe's pulling back. Pure chariots here. He has to play it very carefully because these Fire Giant, look at this, they can just move forward, and if Joe's not paying attention, which he's not paying attention just yet, one splash damage. Now he pulls back, lots of damage done there. We see the Alt X getting thrown in, spread formation, exactly what he needs to do. That Pharaoh going to sit in the front for the time being. These villagers pulling over here for some reason, they're going to be going down very, very fast as Joe's not paying attention to that one. Now finally pulling back as the splash damage going to come in, and that's some dead villagers there, that's for sure. Nice play from Rapl there, but Joe's got himself now the temple up. He's going to attempt to utilize the unupgraded priest here. Has to be really careful not to lose this Pharaoh though. The unit's going to be moving in, trying to take this one down. We see the villagers turning around, going to start shanking here just a little bit, trying to keep the Pharaoh alive as the Frost Giant getting targeted down. Nice micro there by Rapl and by Joe, as it seems that the Frost Giant does go down, but the Chariot Archers getting picked off nicely over here as well, trying to pick off the remaining Heroes of Ragnarok here. But I'm sure, yeah, more Fire Giant are coming in here as Joe struggling mightily to get to that next age. Joe needs to get to the next age. That's it. If he gets Son of Osiris here, it's game over for Rapl, because those Fire Giant are everything here for Rapl, and Rapl still needs some more time to get his economy back into gear because he's only on 2 town centers here. It takes him an extra kind of 2-3 minutes to get up to a reasonable amount of villagers here. Meanwhile, Joe here, he is gathering on this location over here, and the Fire Giants, they have their eyes set on moving down over here. Now, Joe can make a gap here, chop down this tree and make a gap to retreat, which he should be doing, but we see the Fire Giants moving in onto this position as the priests are out, and this is going to be a kind of a forced fight. This Pharaoh sitting with 8 HP right now. There's a raiding cavalry on the back here that's going to be taking it down. The Fire Giant just clicks there, takes that one down. We've got 5 Fire Giants now in for Rapl as Joe is trying to spam these priests out as best as he can. If Joe had funeral rites here, he'd be in a completely different position, but these villagers need to retreat here somehow, some way, as the priests trying to come out onto this position. They're just too slow to get trained, and they're not even that good against the Fire Giants. Maybe even like maybe Anubites? No, Anubites wouldn't be able to pick off Fire Giants fast enough here. There's no unit that Rapl can make. Maybe Pitsukos here en masse might be able to take down the Fire Giants from range, but at this point, Rapl He's trying to come through here. We haven't seen Joe able to retreat here just yet. Joe running out of gold ever so slightly here as the raiding cavalry pummeling through here. Rapl's economy is starting to look like it's getting into gear as Rapl is still pushing through here. We see the Fire Giants incredibly strong. This Fire Giant almost getting taken down. 9 HP remaining. The priests go down as Joe trying to make a run for it here as the villagers pushing over into this corner. Does Joe know that there's a gold mine over there? He doesn't know there's a gold mine there, but he might be spotting it after those villagers chop down that wood line for long enough. Sitting idle with those villagers over there, he's going to be trying to sneak somewhere else. He has moved onto this gold mine into the top corner now, but Joe's economy is absolutely shot going forward. Rapl's got plenty of resources in the bank. Look at all those dwarves. He's re-economized. He's got a metric shit ton of fire giants here. That's 6 fire giants at 5 population chasing these villagers away. The raiding cavalry going to be breaking their retreat path here as the fire giants snipe them down so brutally here as these villagers trying to get away, but they're all falling, and that's going to be at least leveling the villager difference as the raiding cavalry spot the pharaoh immediately trying to surround the pharaoh, and they do manage to get the surround, sniping that one down. These fire giants are going to be remaining ridiculously strong here as Joe finally gets out a respectable amount of priests going forward. He's got 8 priests over here as the raiding cavalry coming through, going to try and take this down. We've got the spearmen trying to defend against the raiding cavalry over here, but the fire giant are going to be able to snipe those down so fast. Nice micro from Rapl pulling the priest back as Rapl going to be moving. Joe's going to be continuing to try and take down these fire giants. There's 2 incredibly low fire giant here, and Joe does notice that low fire giant over here as well as this is becoming very, very close, but Rapl has got his foot on the gas right now. Joe is falling super far behind compared to that score. We see another fire giant getting incredibly low HP, 3 HP remaining. The priest going to be running into the town center here. Joe's got next to no villagers remaining over here as the raiding cavalry do spot this gold mining operation, and guess what? Rapl is simply put sending 3 fire giant onto this position. The village is going to be retreating away, but the splash damage from the fire giant special here coming in. Look at that damage there. Those villagers get absolutely carved up. There's only 2 kills there, but there's very little HP remaining as the villager does manage to snipe that low HP fire giant over there. These villagers still sitting in the corner as Joe is desperately trying to get back into this game. He's only got 9 villagers on food for the time being. These villagers going to be retreating back over here. There's 260 gold left in that gold mine over here. The raiding cavalry searching this gold mine, and Rapl has to know that he's gotten somewhat of a gold staff moving forward in this game. These 2 priests going after this fire giant. Funnily enough, I'm pretty sure the fire giant actually wins this fight. Priests with no upgrades are some of the weakest in the game here. The weakest heroes in the game here, I should say, as Rapl is now, he's going to be sitting very, very nicely on the economy, trying to grab this town center. Has a handful of Ulfsark over here as the Pharaoh does pop out. That's going to be getting some good damage against the Fire Giant moving forward, but Joe's got a long way to go to come back in this game, and I believe that Rapl will be getting himself 4 town centers to 2 town centers advantage going forward here. The Raven gets taken down. The Fire Giant now sitting back here, looking to push in, and Joe gets out of position yet again with this Pharaoh. The raiding cavalry are here, and in that position there, Joe decides to tap out. What a game here by Rapl, showing exactly how you're supposed to follow up the Ragnarok here with those Fire Giant, utilizing them literally perfect in this game. Now, I do think that had Joe, instead of trying to grab this town center, instead of trying to fight Rapl, just put everything onto food and tried to, or everything onto gold and tried to get Mythic Age, and then had the Son of Osiris, the game would have been very, very different. I think that Joe would have been able to come back here and at least be even, if not in front, moving forward. But trying to make all those chariot archers, there's just no value that can be had from the chariot archers. So going forward here, I mean, beyond that, if Joe had gone through Neph these here, he probably would have funeral rites and been able to do this as well. Instead of making chariot archers, just make priests, and he would have been able to carve through those Fire Giant. But he didn't go for that. A little bit too scared here going forward, and he just could not survive because there was 66 villagers at the end of that Ragnarok, and with 66 villagers, you can very, very quickly just wait. Where was it? Right about here. You can very easily just chuck everyone onto food, and then by like 21 minutes or 21:30, have your Mythic Age, and then you have your Son of Osiris, you have your Mummy, and you are completely fine. you're going to be completely fine going forward. But Joe didn't do that. A nice try from Joe here on this map can be very tough. Anubis Hathor is a really strong tactic, but what you want to do with it, if in my opinion, is look for the big gold mine, like kind of thing, or be going for a big siege tower push before your opponent can even get to the Mythic Age. Now, if you take a quick look at what Rapl is doing here with his Mythic Age, let's just quickly take a look at the improvements. Rapl hit a 13-minute Mythic Age. I'm fairly sure you can muster an army before 13 minutes and completely clean this town center, and this town center, forcing a frost or something. But maybe Rapl would still be able to get to the next stage and still be in some trouble. But there's lots of different options. Yeah, I'm just saying there's lots of different options. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.